practice in reassuring yourself that you are not your condition. You are not the limitations that this condition puts upon you. You are so much more than that. May it challenge you to look for those other things about you that have nothing to do with your condition. Hello, beautiful butterflies, and welcome back to Naturally Graceful. If this is your first time, I'm Nina, and in this video, I'm going to give you guys an update on my seizure condition. So from my other video, I spoke to you guys and told you that in February of last year, I got my video EEG, which confirmed from the first one I got in 2009 that the seizures that I experience are non-epileptic. What I did not know, because the first time I got that diagnosis in 2009, I did not hear anything about it affecting my driving, because I was able to receive warning, similar to when someone has a migraine, of when my attacks would happen. And most of them happened when I was at home. So when I went in February and I got my EEG, the doctors did say that they would need to notify the Department of Motor Vehicles about my seizure condition, even though I didn't have epilepsy. I went through the process of going to different doctors, having paperwork filled out, and I wasn't too nervous about having privileges because I figured, these aren't epileptic seizures, so I should be okay. Well, the neurologist contacted the DMV, and the DMV has a medical review unit, and they're the ones who went over the paperwork from the different doctors that I have. And so I received notification in the summer of last year that my license was going to be suspended because of the seizures. And it was right before my son was going to start school, so to say that I was upset and sad is like an understatement. I was told that I could contest that decision that was made, and that was my plan, to contest and let them know that, look, for all the years that I've had these seizures, I have not been in any motor vehicle accidents, and it has not affected my ability to drive. But what I did not understand, and when I called the DMV about contesting the suspension, a lovely woman spoke with me and helped me to understand things better. Mind you, I was having my seizures monthly. I did get them at least once a month, especially around my cycle, but with the increased stress of things that were going on, my seizures were more frequent. She helped me to understand that yes, my seizures weren't epileptic, but because they affected my level of consciousness, that was a big factor to the DMV. When I have my seizures, I am aware of everything going on. I can hear it, but I am not able to communicate. I'm non-responsive. And it depends on how bad the seizure is. I may be laying down looking like I'm passed out, or I could be sitting up and my eyes open, but I'm just not able to speak. I was trying to give her all these different reasons, and she really just helped me to see what their responsibility is. The safety of the people on the road, as well as my safety. And I was very humbled by this experience to realize, now let me give a disclaimer, or the irony in this situation. I'm not a fan of driving. I don't like to drive. My husband drives us mostly everywhere we go. I drive to pick up my son, take him to therapies, things like that. That was my concern. If this had happened and I didn't have my son, I don't think it would bother me as much. But knowing what I am able to do for him, and now it would be a little bit more difficult because I couldn't drive, that was the hardest pill to swallow. She was helping me to see, look, if this condition is definitely triggered by stress, you need to stop stressing yourself out right now and get your health in order, and then we can revisit your driving privileges. In the state that I live in, you have to be 6 months free of a seizure. Now, the other thing that got me so anxious about my license being suspended is I could not think of a time where I went 6 months completely without one seizure. So in my mind, I'm like, this is not a temporary suspension. I may not be able to drive ever again. So, you know, of course, all those things are going through my mind, and she could hear that, and she was just like, you're making yourself sick. And that was a hard pill to swallow when she said it. I cried on the phone with her, and I started to understand, you know what? This is growth opportunity for me to take things as they are and to see how I can grow from it. It has been since September that I have not been able to drive. And I mentioned to you in another video that there's like this little formula that I try and follow whenever I'm going through something challenging and difficult. And it is to acknowledge how I feel, to be aware of that in a non-judgmental way, and to validate that it's okay to have human emotion, to feel upset, to feel frustrated, scared. And then from there, after those 3 things have been done, I move on to reframing it and looking for the good that comes from it. Well, I'm thankful that my son's school is not far from where we live, so I can literally walk to get him. And that actually is also a benefit for my health anyway, to walk and get some activity, to be outside. And, you know, it's even good for my son. And I'm thankful for the beautiful friends and family that I have who have been so supportive to give me rides to my son's therapy, which is once a week. And it's far from where we live. It has been a trying couple of months. In the beginning of any journey, it is hard because there's an adjustment period from what you used to do and what you now need to do. And I definitely saw also an opportunity in acceptance. Accepting things as they are, stop trying to change it, use those 6 months to get my health in order, to reduce my stress so that I can get these seizures under control. Because this was another thing that the woman mentioned. She said, at least with epileptic seizures, we can put you on some kind of medication. We can have, you know, then it feels like it's controlled. But these are caused by stress, and you don't know what brings them up. And like, we can't take the chance to have you on the road when things like that can happen. So looking at it from that perspective, I get it. Doesn't mean I agree with it, but I get it. And so I have noticed a reduction in my seizures since I have not been driving. And I realized that, you know, I realized the wisdom in that, just giving myself some time to get my health together, especially since I had my son. And I also have been going to someone who helps with my health and gives me supplements and herbs and things to help with my health. And those things that I have been taking, and I've been consistent for 4 weeks. Actually, I can give myself a little pat on the back that I have been consistent for the past 4 weeks with taking my supplements and protocol. This suspension of my license definitely humbled me because I am horrible with asking for help. I am. It has helped me work on hearing no and not take it as a rejection, to learn to ask for what I need. It's amazing how with so many things I'm learning self-advocacy. When you have a chronic illness, when your child has a special need, you definitely get lots of practice in self-advocacy. I am looking forward to seeing what the future will bring, and I'm very hopeful that if I continue to take this protocol and take care of myself, that my seizures can be less. And I've also come to the point that even if I don't get my license back, I will be okay. I'm allowing space for the grief that comes from losing my driving privileges, and yet not stay focused on that, but focus on the abundance that has come from this loss. And I just want to reach out to those of you who are experiencing seizures. Maybe you've lost your driving privileges also. And even if you didn't lose your driving privileges, this condition does bring on some things that I'm sure you wish it did not. But I challenge you to look at the ways that it has brought abundance in your life, even if that only good thing is that opportunity to give you practice in self-love. Practice in reassuring yourself that you are not your condition. You are not the limitations that this condition puts upon you. You are so much more than that. May it challenge you to look for those other things about you that have nothing to do with your condition. And may you also practice just appreciating being, not doing. Being productive does have a place. It does have a place for worth and esteem. I am thankful for the condition that I experienced because it is teaching me something that those that are healthy may learn maybe when something tragic happens or a really big change in their health happens. Your worth and value do not come from what you can do and accomplish. That is separate. Those are add-ons. Your worth and value come from who you are on the inside. And so if you can take the time to acknowledge how you feel, treat yourself compassionately, work on celebrating different things about yourself, and focus on the abundance in your life, that is an inner transformation that no condition or circumstance can touch. That is an advantage that you have. So this is not to minimize what the daily struggle can be for you and the ones who love you and help take care of you. And yet at the same time, we don't want to lose hope. We don't want to lose sight of the evidence of love that's around us, even if it's the fact that we have those that support us and love us, who want to try and understand. But if you're in a place where you're feeling a bit defeated, I send you compassion, and like I said, there is a place for allowing that, but don't stay there. Lisa Nichols would say you can visit a place, but like don't take out real estate. Don't like set up tent and like stay there for a long time. Allow space for it so that you can move through quickly and then get to a better use of your energy, which is focusing on the abundance that you do have around you and also the opportunities and growth that it brings. Thank you so much for watching. I will keep you guys updated in March to let you know how my seizures have been coming along. Please let me know in the comments, do you suffer from this condition? Do you have any words of encouragement that you can share with others who look at this video and comment? We all have a little piece that we can put in there to help someone know that they're not alone and that we can get through this. Okay, so please remember to give yourself compassion, and I will see you on the next video. Bye. Is a growth opportunity. I started to realize that this is a growth opportunity.